Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen now in order to continue with master data. Um, master data training for planning process. So we've covered material master data, locations, work centers, resources, transportation lanes. So what else is left? Actually, the only thing what's left is PDS, production data structure. But the PDS is a combination of other pieces of master data like BoM, bill of material, routing, and production version. So we cannot talk about PDS really without um, discussing the bill of material, routing, and production version. So let's start with the bill of material. Well, unfortunately, I don't have any slides for it, but I am going to show it to you on the particular example. So what is the T code to display the bill of material? The T code is CS03 in order to display, CS02 to maintain, and CS01 to create. So you might wonder, before we start the T code, you might wonder what is actually the bill of material at all. So let's imagine the situation that you're going to cook some pancakes, right? So in order to cook pancakes, what do you need? You need the ingredients, the list of ingredients. So if you want to make some, you will probably need flour, um, butter, maybe milk, or I don't know, skim milk, uh, salt, sugar, and so on. So all these ingredients are the components for pancakes, and pancakes are our finished goods. So the same is with our production. Of course, every composite product consists of components, and those components in turn may consist of other components. So here we have some composite material. We have plant where it is produced, RUP1, and we also have such indicator as bill of material usage. Let's check what SAP says. SAP says that BoM usage is key that defines the area where a BoM can be used. Okay. So what types can we have? So for plant RUP1, we can only have BoM usage 1 production. I'm not sure what is the situation with other plants and other materials, but as far as I see, if we are talking about production, well, BoM usage 1 is always used. So we choose the material, we choose plant, the dates are set automatically for today because we are looking only for valid bill of materials, and we can press enter. So we are entering the bill of material, and in this specific case, we can see that material consists of only 2 components. Also, we can see that we can see the quantity which is required to make 1 base unit of measure of our parent material. So the material which is in the header, the composite one, is called a parent material. So if we go to this material, then we go to AMRP tab, then we select the plant RUP1 because we're checking the data for it. We can see that it has current status, everything is all right. Then we also can check the, let me see the tab. We can also check the, yes, the unit of measure. So the base unit of measure for this material is meter. And production unit is BoB, which means bobbin. Um, so what we can see that in order to produce one bobbin, because that's the production unit, in order to produce one bobbin of this parent material, we need 1,800 meters of that material and 0.4 meters of that material. So we can check all these materials, like what it is, real quick. So if we go again to our parent material, we go to classification tab, we can see that the material is mantle aluminum foil, semi-finished goods. Okay, so if we go to the component, first one, we can see that it is mentholated aluminum foil. So it probably is the base, like really the most of our composite material is this component. And the second component is stretch wrap. So it's probably just a package for this semi-finished goods. So it could be transported between different warehouses and plants. Well, that's just my assumption here. But as we said, components might also have components. So if we take this material, which I already did, and you open the same T code again, we can see that this material, which is a component for our previous one, has its own components, right? And it also has like a base and some additional materials like kilograms. I wonder what is. So this mantle aluminum foil has also a component which is just aluminum foil, inner liner, whatever it is. And I wonder what is that? Lysin Z concentrate. So it is probably some like coating, which is maybe sprayed or somehow applied to the base, and so on. So that's what is bill of material. Let's get back to our parent. So you can see the quantity which is required to make one production unit. You can see the validity dates of the components, um, and some other minor data. So that's what is bill of material. I guess we're done with that. Also, one parent my final point here is that parent material can have several alternative BoMs. So in this case, we have only one BoM, but for example, let's check if there is a second alternative BoM. No, there is none, right? So that means that this parent material has only one possible set of components, but it is not always the case. For example, if we will check some cigarette or case of cigarettes, like some SKU, we can actually see that probably it has several alternative BoMs, which means that the set of components may slightly differ, but they combine together and like put through production process, they will give us the approximately same final product, which can be considered as our parent material. So that's how it works. So that was the bill of material, and then moving to next component of production data structure, which is routing. So what is routing? Routing is a description of the list of activities. So basically, if we continue our metaphor about the pancakes, if bill of material is just the list of components and quantities of components like 2 eggs, 1 cup of flour, and so on, then routing will be the recipe, I mean the sequence of steps. So like take dry ingredients, mix them together, add the eggs, add the milk, mix it all together, let it sit, and so on. So all this written down sequence is actually routing. So tells what order or sequence the activity separation needs to be carried out at work centers or machines. So routing also contains information on work centers required for production. Also, yeah, of course, routing is obligatory for production. There may be also several alternative routings for a product. For example, a product can be manufactured on 2 machines. In this case, material has 2 alternative routings. So just as parent material can have alternative BoMs, so you can take, for example, cow milk, or you can take oat milk, and the BoMs will be different. Also, routings can be different. So you can mix dry ingredients first, or you can mix liquid ingredients first. Also, you can heat your pan before cooking, or you can heat your pan when you are already cooking, and so on. So just an example. Routing is used in production, yes, and before creating the routing, you should check that work center is available in the system. And the next main point is that in JTI, we have individual routings, classic SAP approach. It means that individual routing, it means that we take some product, we take bill of material, work center, and there is a routing specifically for this product and this bill of material. Or we can have group routings. So yes, group routings are the preferred. They are recommended as best practice in our company. So individual routing, it means that each routing is assigned to a dedicated material and can only be used for it. So only for one material. This is not recommended. Most of all, we will deal with group routings. So group of routings is created independently from material ID, and you can include different materials or different products into this group. Group routings can be maintained for a set of operations, and group ID naming convention usually starts with a number, and yeah, so it starts with a number, but how to decipher the letters which are followed after the number, well, I'm not sure. Sorry. Also, we have T codes for routings as well. So if for bill of material, it was CS0123, for routing, it is CA0123. Okay, yeah, validity dates, all right. So let's check how it looks like. I have a prepared data from one of the incidents. So we have this routing on FOM. Click continue. And we see that, so we are going to routing overview. And we can see that there are actually different materials, several of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 materials assigned to these group routings. So all of them are more or less the same, of course, because like you cannot, uh, if you have the sequence of steps to make pancakes, you cannot apply it to build, like, I don't know, to build a tank, right? So it will just not suit the process. So all of the materials are more or less the same. They are produced on the same plant. So the only important characteristic of routing, which I know, and which we check, which we might check for incident resolution, is validity. Of course, there are some cases when um, production data structure, which contains routing as one of its parts, cannot be created because because routing is not in validity, or the validity of routing is really different from bill of material validity. So all pieces of master data have its own validity in the system. They might expire. So please check that routing exists, that its validity is properly maintained, and it goes along with bill of materials validity as well. So let's check what presentation also says. Yeah, we have a group. Then we can check, oh, sorry, operation detail. Okay, let's try to check the operation detail. More details. Okay, I guess we don't have access to check operation detail. Okay, we can go to header and we can see the group name, plant name, usage, it's used for production, lot size, minimum, maximum. In this case, it is not restricted. Material, well, yeah, and again, validity dates, but we could check validity dates on the previous screen. So I guess, okay. Yeah, so we can go to the sequences or to operations. Oh, okay, so we actually, we cannot access the details. Oh, sorry. Or we can now. Details, operation detail. Well, now we can access operation detail. What a miracle. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so first from routing, let's go back again. So we have a group routing. We choose some product which is produced with this routing. Then we go to operations. And then we can see the work center, so the machine which actually does this sequence of actions. The description is called foil methylation. So yeah, well, I don't really understand what exactly is the process, but like now the puzzle starts to assemble, right? So we have some foil, we have some coating, and when the coating is applied to this foil, it's probably called foil methylation. So in order to um, achieve some coated semi-finished goods, some coated foil, we should go through this procedure, and it is done by this machine. So this is only one step. It is a one-step procedure, right? And yeah, we can check it here, and we can go to operation details. oil ventilation, work center, operation unit. Great. Well, so of course, not all the validity. Okay, so not all the fields are do make some sense for us, but at least we can get some basic information on what's happening. Yeah, work center, base quantity, setup machine. Yeah, so we can see some time which is required for machine setup. It probably, this information is probably uploaded from work center master data, right? And then, yeah, that's always routing. Nice. So we are switching to the next part of production data structure PDS, which is called production version. So production version is the link between bill of material and routing. Yeah, so so the master data is planning. In planning is like matryoshka, you know. So it's like a combination inside of combination inside of combination. So there can be bill of material inside bill of material inside bill of material, and there is also like routing, bill of material. When they are combined, you have production version, and production version combined with uh, again like routing and yeah, bill of material is called production data structure. So it's a little bit insane, but that's what it is. Yeah, so the production version determines which alternative bill of material is used together with which routing, right? So I think of it like in the end, we need to receive the same product, the same pancake, but if we use a different set of ingredients, we should adjust our production process, our frying process to the set of ingredient which we have. So we cannot just use any recipe with any set of components and receive the same pancake. If we really want to receive the same pancake, sorry, it's too late. We need to carefully adjust our production process to the exact set of products which we have on hand. So that's what is production version. There is a T code called C223, which is used for production version maintenance, but GSD don't have access to this T code. So we can use another T code, which I will show you right now. So production version is just a 4-digit number, like company code, for example. And you see there is a naming convention, the ranges, depending on like, is it for subcontracting, but most widely used is from 1000 to 7000 operation range. Okay, yeah, so of course, production version also has validity dates, which should be checked if they are properly maintained, if our production matches this validity period. So valid from two dates must be strictly aligned with bill of material and routing validities. So all validity dates should match. Right, and yeah, each production version creates a link between routing and BoM. Okay. Yeah, moving to display report. So in order to display production version, we should use report. Please let me not to read it out loud. So that's what it's called. And I have this report prepared as well. We have access to it. So I am again using our parent material, mentholated foil. If I'm not mistaken, we use the plant, the date, press execute. And here we have the production version. There is only one production version. It's called 1001 or 1001, not sure. And we can see it mentions bill of material like this. And if we go to bill of material here, we can go, well, it's, no, sorry, that's the bill of material for the component, but we need to go back to bill of material of our parent material, initial one. So we need to type this. Okay, so now we are back to our initial parent material, mentholated foil. And if we go to header, I guess, yes, we have the overall code of bill of material. Remember it finishes with 219. And if we go here, it's the same bill of material code, right? So all the data is connected. We have only one bill of material for this specific foil. Only one bill of material. There are no alternatives. And we have it in a group routing. And group is one FOM. So we probably, yeah, we can see it here. The group routing is one FOM. The BoM code is here. The validity is here. So all the data is mentioned there. And I'm not sure, is it something more to production version? Well, some additional data, material, description, bill of material. Well, basically the same information as in the table, right? So not really a lot. Well, yeah. Here we can see how many parameters we can use to find production version, but for the incidents, we usually use just material and plant. That's quite enough. Yeah. And yeah, so this report. So we can probably also, yeah, you see those different materials. So we can use this report not for individual material only, but also for a big selection of materials. If we use some selections, like, for example, plant and material group, we will check all the materials which are in this group. Well, that's really all to production version. Now you have the T code, how to check it, and we are moving to production data structure. So production data structure is a combination of bill of material, routing, and production version. Again, production data structure is a complex master data piece which defines how product will be produced and is defined by combination. Yes, so what I said previously, before the go live in March of 2021, it was known as production process model, or PPM, but now now it was replaced, and the whole process, the whole structure itself should be more simple than it was. Actually, I was not really familiar with the previous system of PPMs. Back then, I didn't support APO a lot, I guess. So we're dealing now with PDS. And also in the past, PPMs could be manually adjusted or manually maintained, but this is no longer supported. Production data structure only can be created automatically if all the pieces are in place. So if we have production version, bill of material, routing, all of them are valid, all of them are correctly maintained, then the production data structure should be created automatically by a scheduled job. So for example, all the other data is maintained. You wait a couple of hours or overnight, and the next day, production data structure should be generated. So that is the T code to display production data structure. Let me show it to you. Yes, here it is in my favorite list as well. So we launch it. Yeah, we have the material, we have the location, and that's enough for us. We click execute. And we receive the production data structure. And basically, in production data structure, there are no new fields which we didn't check yet, right? So we have material plant, we have usage, production, and detailed scheduling, obviously. Routing type is routing. Nice. We have validity also from March. That is unlimited. Then we also see the tabs here. Well, by the way, let me try to display it. Okay. Okay, there are also some details, but these are the same as we see in the table. So we have components. And you might wonder why there are 3 components when we had 2 components, when the first one is our initial parent material. So you see that's the same material. The second one ends with 257. Let's compare it to the BoM. Here it is. And the third one should end with 897. And here it is. So the bill of material is matching. The quantities, pay attention to the quantities. Interesting. The quantities are not matching for some reason. So this one, yeah, this one is matching, I guess, but this one is different. And that is interesting. So probably I will not be able to tell right now why is there this difference. Why is it 600 when here it is, should be like 400 if we multiply everything by 1,000? I am not sure. Okay, yeah, but well, obviously this information should be uploaded from bill of material, but in our case we have slightly different quantity for some reason. Then if we go to operations, we can see there is one operation. What if we check the details? There are not a lot of details. Reduce, base quantity, scrap. So this operation is actually this one operation from routing, right? So the data to the tab operations is uploaded from routing. And here is the activity, which is also uploaded from routing. So that's how production data structure looks like. Basically, in the incidents, we need to make sure that there are all pieces of master data, that they are valid, that it looks fine. And if there is some complicated, really complicated issue with some field like, I don't know, consumption mode, maybe the issues with consumption mode, we will probably not be able to detect it, to be honest. And such issue will be eventually escalated to BTS team. That's why when you receive, usually when you receive incident ticket for PPDS, if like you are curious about the process in general, it will be interesting to check all pieces of data when you know what can be possibly checked. Like you check the production version, it looks fine, but you are not sure. You check bill of material, it looks correct, but you are not totally sure about this as well. So you check it all and you try to find the obvious mistake, which even you can spot, right? Well, I'm not saying that anyone is stupid here. I'm speaking the same way about myself. So, despite the fact that I am going to join BTS PLN team, I don't like. I 100% do not agree that I know PLN process. So uh, probably right now, like no one knows it better, but in GSD, maybe Polina knows it better because she is in operation more often. But that doesn't mean that anyone knows the process. The process is huge. The amount of data, the quantity of fields is enormous. So 1 million reasons why everything can go wrong. And you can check only obvious ones. But what was my point initially is that when you receive incident, you start checking, and it can be interesting or it can be insulting because there is quite a lot to check usually, and you are short in time. That's why for PLN analysts, one PPDS incident can take like an hour of investigation. If you don't have this hour, you escalate with all the information you could obtain. If you are interested and you have some time, you are not overloaded with other tickets, you can dig deep down uh, in the issue to try to find the root cause. Then you will start checking past incidents as usual. You will start checking KBs, but more past incidents, believe me, and replies of BTS in past incidents. And if you are lucky enough, and you will eventually find the root cause, you will advise a solution to user and it will work. Just believe me, there will be no more satisfied and happier man in the world than you are right at that moment. So, and you will increase your expertise as well. But moving next, let's get back to the presentation. Well, actually 2 slides left. So yeah, we can check the tabs. We can check the details here and how to navigate. So that's all, actually. That's all, folks. Uh, all for the master data. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So see you in the next video. Goodbye.